Gary, you suggested on Monday night that the season, maybe some of the players, the team was at something of a crossroads. How do you ensure that the right path is taken from this crossroads?
Well, they have to perform, and ultimately, whether it's sooner rather than later, decisions will be made for them going forwards. And as I said after the game Monday, they're judging every game, not when the big teams come into town. So they have to make sure that they're right for every single game.
That mental toughness that you highlighted, is that something you can coach and develop, or is it something that comes from inside every player?
It has to come from inside. You can't coach that. It's a determination, a willingness, if you like, or a winning mentality to get the best not out of themselves but out of their teammates also. So they have to start showing that.
Dover immediately springs to mind as an example where maybe the team had shown that toughness. There are examples from earlier in the season that spring to mind. Is it a case of maybe mentally kind of asking them to take themselves back to that moment and what it was that got us over the line at Dover?
That's a good example, Dover, but I think there's a few examples. You can look at Forest Green where, in the dying minutes, if you like, we get themselves back into the game, but unfortunately we don't see it through. Lincoln, where we battle away, play very, very well, but you're mentioning the top teams. If you do that against the teams that are in and around us or below us, surely that gives us more of a chance of winning football matches. And the two best examples are the two cup games, Eastbourne and East Thurrock, where did the players on them cup games show enough of that? Did the opposition show more toughness than what we did? So that's what I'm looking for now. Look, you only want tough times don't last, but tough people, tough players do, and they have to see this tough period through.
And I suppose in those cup games, the cliche is that you've always got to match the supposedly inferior team for intensity and desire, that you have to want it as much as they do, and then your other superior qualities will show through.
You'd like to think so. You have to match that first in any given game, not just against the top teams. It's even more important against the teams that you're currently fighting alongside or below you, because they'll show more determination, desire, and we have to make sure that we do that. Now, whether it's attitude, mentality, whatever you want to call it, we have to start showing that.
There still seems to be a good honesty amongst the squads, though. I know Matt McClure gave a very honest interview on Monday night, suggesting it was his worst performance of the season, even though he actually scored and was involved more maybe. But will that honesty help the team get through, do you think?
Saying everything that I've said in the last few days, they are a very, very good group of players. They are an honest group of people, and I've really enjoyed the work with them. So yeah, at the moment it's tough, and being critical also of them, but it's all very well getting all the plaudits when things are going well. You have to also, when things are not going so well, take it on the chin and bounce back. Matty McClure's a fine example, really. On Monday evening, he shouldn't have stayed on the pitch during extra time. He was injured, so we were down to 9 men. He scored. He's honest with his performance, not only on Monday evening, but Matty's a tough character. You'll throw whatever you like at him, and he'll continue to work hard and respond. So we'll take all the pats on the back when it's going well with the players. When things are not going so well, you've got to face it full on and deal with it.
Maybe as a little bit of perspective, we're still 10th, 8 points off the top 5. There's not a million miles away.
No disaster, but we wanted to do well in both competitions. The problem is, we want to build something. That's what we want to do. We don't want to smash it apart and dismantle it. We want to build something. That's the key to it. And we've got some very, very good players at this club. but they just need to know that when things are not going so well, that they have to roll their sleeves up and grind out some results.
Chester are one of those teams that have leapfrogged Aldershot Town in the last couple of weeks. They've almost snuck up into 8th. They're a team that are perhaps going under the radar. How do you assess their strengths?
Well, they're a well-organised team, and I think not so long ago we know how difficult a place it was to go to with last season's result there. So it's fresh in everybody's minds. But our disappointment on Monday is freshening out in my mind. So I'm waiting for a response. And ultimately, when you cross that white line, all the organisation and the training during the course of the week has been done. You cross that white line, you have to take responsibility for your performance firstly, and once you've done that, more often than not the result takes care of itself. So we're waiting for a response.
And it'll be good to have Jake Gallagher back. In recent weeks there's been, in goal, in central defence and central midfield, you've not been able to pick maybe what people would consider your first choice lineup. That spine in any team, however strong the squad is, when you lose that spine, that's going to have an effect on any team.
Yeah, it does. It does, and we're not being consistent with our team selections. Quite simply because we've not had the personnel to be able to do that through injury or suspension, so that makes it hard. The one massive positive out of all of this is that replay has given us Jake Gallagher back for selection for this weekend, so that's a massive positive because he's done extremely well this season, so he'll come back into it. But it has, in terms of team selection, what you touched on, yeah, it's been hard because you want to keep that core of your team together, especially down the spine of your team as well, where them players that were in there early part of the season done very, very well. So but that's the nature of the beast. You get on with it. Players that come into the team, it's an opportunity for them. Have they taken it? I'm sure everybody's got their own opinion on that.
And how is the squad looking this weekend? Welcome Jake back. Is there anybody else in contention?
Well, McClaw's out, mate. McClaw's out, that's for sure. This Saturday it might just be a little bit too early for one or two of them, but we're looking more towards the Boxing Day game where we could have a few more bodies back, which would strengthen everything.
Thank you very much, Gary. We'll see you at Chester.
Thank you.